Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news. All right, Bills fans, buckle up because the NFL rumor mill is heating up in a big way, and the spotlight is now on Aiden Hutchinson. That's right, the Detroit Lions star edge rusher has suddenly become the center of a potential blockbuster trade that could see him donning the Bills' colors very soon. Now, I know what you're thinking, Hutchinson. The guy's just 25, and he's been turning heads with his relentless pass rush and impressive stats. But in the NFL, nothing's off the table, especially when it comes to teams trying to bolster their defenses for a deep playoff run. So let's break this down, because what's being whispered around the league could have serious implications for Buffalo's Super Bowl hopes and the AFC East landscape as a whole. First, let's talk about Hutchinson himself. This guy is a refined young pass rusher with a ton of upside. In 2025, he registered 5 sacks, a remarkable number for a player still in the early stages of what many believe could be a Hall of Fame career. He's not just about sacks. Hutchinson also generated 62 pressures, with a PFF pass rush grade of 89.2, which ranks among the elite in the league. His pressure rate hovers around 24%, meaning he's constantly in the face of quarterbacks, disrupting plays and forcing hurried throws. His QB hits total 20, and he's recorded 3 forced fumbles, showing his ability to create turnovers. Over his career, Hutchinson has accumulated 35 sacks and 200 pressures, with a career PFF grade of 87. His EPA per sack is 17, indicating he's effective at turning pressures into actual sacks and affecting the outcome of plays. Standing at 67, with a wingspan that's nearly unmatched, Hutchinson's physical tools are comparable to some of the best in the league, like Nick Bosa. And he's been recognized as a top 5 edge, earning Pro Bowl selections in both 2024 and 2025. The potential for him to make an immediate impact on whichever team lands him is huge, especially for a Bills defense looking to get back to that dominant level. Now, here's where things get interesting. The Lions, currently sitting at a 10-7 record with a cap space of around $30 million, are facing some tough choices. They're reportedly considering trading Hutchinson in exchange for draft capital, focusing on acquiring wide receivers, which they view as a bigger priority now. The idea here is that by trading Hutchinson, they can free up about $10 million in cap space and target some stud WRs to boost their offense. It's a bold move because Hutchinson is a cornerstone player, but the Lions are clearly looking to retool their roster to be more explosive on offense, especially with the cap tightness looming after extensions and other commitments. Now, imagine this scenario for the Bills. Buffalo's defense has faced its share of injuries this season, and adding a player like Hutchinson could be a game changer. His projected sack total for the Bills would be around 13, with a 22% increase in pressure from last season's numbers, jumping from 17% pressure rate to 21%. That kind of boost in pass rush productivity can truly be the difference maker in close games, especially in the playoffs. With Hutchinson on the edge, disrupting the pocket and forcing hurried throws, the Bills' secondary would have more opportunities to capitalize on turnovers. Already, the Bills' defense has been solid, but could use that extra edge, pun intended, against high-powered offenses like the Dolphins, Chiefs, or Ravens. What makes this trade even more appealing for Buffalo is how Hutchinson's presence could elevate the entire defensive unit. His ability to generate pressure not only helps with sacks, but also improves run defense by collapsing the pocket and limiting rushing lanes. The Bills' run defense has been decent but inconsistent, and Hutchinson's technique and high motor could serve as a catalyst for the entire front seven. Pairing him with Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver, and the emerging pass rush specialists, Buffalo could form a front that's among the league's best, making it tougher for opponents to establish a running game or protect their quarterbacks adequately. And speaking of Oliver, the Bills have been relying heavily on him to generate pressure, especially with injuries that have limited other key players. Oliver's pressures have been around 40, and when combined with a player like Hutchinson, the front becomes even more formidable. The duo could produce a +9 turnover differential, turning more opponent mistakes into points. This is exactly what Bills fans want to see, an aggressive, relentless defense that can take control of games and tilt the field in Buffalo's favor. The addition of Hutchinson could also help reduce opponent quarterback efficiency, which currently drops from 92 to around 80 when facing the Bills' defense. That's elite-level disruption, folks. Now, you might be wondering about the financial side of things. The Bills are currently operating with a cap situation that's somewhere between $1.8 million and $5 million, depending on the source, which is tight but manageable with smart moves. They've been increasing their pass rush after losing Bernard, who's expected to be replaced and compensated accordingly, and adding Hutchinson would be a significant upgrade. His contract, around $4 million, fits within the Bills' cap if they make some adjustments, especially considering the savings the Lions would get from trading him. The Lions are apparently eyeing the 2026 cap space, which is around $30 million, and they are prioritizing extensions for other players and focusing on building around that core. That's why trading Hutchinson now makes sense for Detroit. They get immediate draft capital, free up space, and can focus on their long-term plan, which seems to be building a more explosive offense with young wide receivers. As for the Bills, acquiring Hutchinson aligns perfectly with their Super Bowl aspirations. The AFC is stacked, but Buffalo has the talent and the coaching to contend, especially if they can boost their pass rush with a proven young star like Hutchinson. His projected 13 sacks and increased pressures will certainly help close the gap against the league's best offenses. Plus, with the Bills' history of aggressive defense and their desire to get back to the Super Bowl, making a move like this could be the spark they need. Remember, the Bills have always been about building a strong, disruptive front, and Hutchinson's addition could be the missing piece that pushes them over the edge. Now, let's not forget the bigger picture here. The NFL trade market is always fluid, and rumors like these tend to heat up as teams evaluate their rosters and future cap strategies. For Buffalo, this could be a game changer. Imagine a Bills defense with Hutchinson wreaking havoc on the edge, forcing turnovers, and creating chaos for opposing QBs. The playoff push would look even more promising with that kind of disruptive force leading the charge. Plus, this move would send a message to the rest of the league that Buffalo isn't just content to compete. They're ready to dominate, to make bold moves, and to chase that elusive Super Bowl trophy once again. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and the trade negotiations are complex, involving draft picks, cap considerations, and player evaluations. But the potential is definitely there, and it's exciting to imagine a Bills defense with Hutchinson in the fold, especially considering his youth, talent, and proven production. The AFC East is already a competitive division, with the Dolphins, Jets, and Pats all vying for supremacy, but Buffalo positioning itself with a player like Hutchinson could tilt the scales even further in their favor. The Bills have been building a championship-caliber team, and this kind of move could be the final piece they need to put them over the top. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and TO, the Buffalo Bills. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. Remember, whether it's in the draft, free agency, or trade market, the Bills are always looking to improve and make that deep playoff run. Keep the faith, stay loud, and let's hope that this rumor turns into reality. Because when it does, it could be the move that takes Buffalo right back to the Super Bowl stage. And you know we'll be right here, breaking it all down as always.